very interactive session, something that I have been looking forward to since I have heard the name of the speaker. It is my great privilege to welcome an award-winning international motivational speaker. He is a BBC-trained journalist, a public speaking and persuasion expert. He has performed in front of 2 billion people worldwide. He has worked alongside huge names like Bruce Willis, James Brown, Amitabh Bachchan, and the likes. Today, he will be sharing the 5 rules on becoming unstoppable. Wow, am I excited for it? On how to not only survive, but thrive in the new business landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, please welcome Mr. davecrane.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Speak on Stage with davecrane, the podcast where we unpack the art and science of public speaking to help you command the stage with confidence and authority. I'm your host, davecrane, and as a seasoned speaker, coach, and entertainer, I've had the privilege of helping thousands of individuals like you to unlock their true potential on stage all around the world. Each week, we'll bring you candid conversations with industry experts, successful speakers, and thought leaders, delving into proven strategies, practical tips, and personal anecdotes to empower you to become a captivating communicator. So whether you're a seasoned pro looking to refine your skills, or a beginner taking your first steps onto the stage, this podcast is your go-to resource for mastering the craft of public speaking. So grab your notepad, open your mind, and get ready to amplify your impact as we embark on this journey together. Welcome to Speak on Stage with davecrane. Together, let's jump and grow wings on the way down.
Right then, good morning everybody, good morning. Oh come on, I know it's wet outside. We can do better than that. Good morning everybody, good morning. There we go, fantastic. My name's davecrane, because you probably heard it about 10 times there. Thank you so much, great to see you. I've come from Dubai, which is not too far, but you know more about the world map than clearly I do. Before we start anything today, I just want to share a few ideas. So if you just like to look at the screen, I'll stand to one side and follow what happens. Okay, go on. Go on. It's all interactive. Okay, and you'll see your foot go the other way. Okay, next, you can't wash your eyes with soap. I don't expect you to try this, but you actually can. I don't want to put that in. This one's true. You can't breathe through your nose with your tongue out. Do that. Go on. I know you want to, just to check. I see a few people doing it. Yeah. There you go. Okay, let's move on to the next thing then. Next slide. Which is this one. Very true. And then this. And then that. And you're puzzled and you're wondering, aren't you? So there you go. Da 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 da. Ha ha ha. Let me move on. Yeah. You have to read. If you can't read, this is a really boring time for you. Let me move on to this. And then, lastly, we go on to this. See, the thing is, in order to make life really interesting, you have to gamify it. You have to be prepared to change the rules and make it more interesting. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through a number of different ideas, but I'm not going to give you any business cards today. If you get your phone out and you go to thedavecrane.com, you'll find this page. It's got all my contact details on, because we're in a digital world. There's nothing worse than going to a conference and walking out with a pile of cards, and you've no idea when to start putting them into LinkedIn and checking the names, and then you found them all scuffed and you're wondering who they are. So it's much easier if people just find you in one go. So let's get on with things. Welcome to the Titanic. Every industry that we're talking to, every industry you're interacting with, every single one you're going to be putting events on for is effectively going to be just like the Titanic. Let me explain to you. After the Titanic, has anybody not heard of the Titanic? Yes, you have. How many people seen the movie Titanic? Put your hand up. Alright, keep your hand up. Who's seen it once? Twice? 3 times? 4 times? 5 times? Anybody, thank goodness. I got up to 14 times once with somebody. I think I must only have one video to watch. So here's the thing. After the Titanic sank, the evidence was there about why it sank. First of all, if you've seen the movie, which most people have, at the front of the ship, just there was the area where Leonardo DiCaprio said, "King of the world!" But the ship was split into 2, which means if there was a problem, you couldn't get from the front to the back. You can see here, there weren't enough lifeboats. And also, the captain here turned around and said, "This is going to be my last ever voyage." Now, if you're on a plane and your pilot says, "This is going to be my last ever flight," that's not good. You might want to consider saying, "Oh, I've left something in duty free, can I just leave for a moment?" So here's the thing. Every industry is changing, and that's why you need to consider things differently. The clock is ticking, and I'm going to be sharing with you what you need to be considering as you move on. Now, here's the thing. We all have to deal with stress. How many people get stressed on a regular basis? How many people take it out on their husband? I'm just hypothetically saying. But here's the thing. What you need to do from now on is have a Mona Lisa smile. Which means you're kind of smiling, but not smiling, but you don't really let anybody know what's going on underneath the surface. Very important. Because the thing is, when you talk about management and business, it used to be that Tom Peters was talking about selling wow. And then in your industry and every other industry, it's about the experience. Now, I want you to recognize what you sell is none of those things. You sell certainty. If people do business with you, you guarantee results. End of. And everything you do should be about heading in that direction for people and sharing with them exactly how this happens. So why were we in this situation where this came about? Well, it all started a long time ago. This is, well, it's not my school, but this is a school, as you probably remember, but it wasn't in black and white. It was never in black and white, just the cameras. Sorry. Okay, so the education system said to us some very simple stuff. You sit there, you behave, you do the right thing, and you'll end up getting a good job. Everyone remember that? Yes? But the thing changed. The idea is, you get a good job. They create a safety zone, so therefore, if you work really hard and look after your boss and do all the stuff you should do, you should have a comfort zone inside, where you can have 2.5 kids, and you should have a car, you should have retirement plans and everything. But that doesn't work anymore. It's not guaranteed. Nowadays, you've got to change the game. Feel free to copy any of these slides, by the way. It's my gift to you. So, your growth zones and the stages have altered. You need to be thinking differently. You need to stretch and push yourself. And I'm going to share with you how you do that. Because here we go. This is the truth. This is now your comfort zone. But where you need to be for every industry, which is why you're here, is right over there. So how do you get there? That's one of the biggest dilemmas and the biggest challenges that anybody has to think about, especially right now with digitization and robotization and all the many things that are happening with artificial intelligence. But here's what you've got to do. If there's anything you take away from this presentation, is this. Take risks. Jump and grow wings on the way down. Be prepared to be on your own where nobody else is, because that's where the magic is now going to be. In business, it looks more like that. You have no idea what's below your feet, but you know where you want to be. You make calculations about what could happen, what could go wrong, what could go right, and eventually you make that jump. So how does that fit in? Very basically, build a smart roadmap. Know where it is you're going. Make a decision on where you have to get those results from. I'm going to share with you 5 ways of becoming unstoppable. Many of them you'll know, Many of them might be different, but all of them are essential for where you truly need to be. So first of all, you have to see yourself, you personally, you, not just your organization, as a brand. Why? Because we don't deal with logos anymore, we deal with people. Let me explain a little bit more. And this is a big change that's happening right now. We see world leaders on the stage speaking to everybody from the stage. It's not policies, it's conversations. So once upon a time you could hide. That's your company, that's every company. It's just an umbrella, you can't see who's beneath it. You can have safety in numbers. Got thousands of people out there, doesn't matter who they are, we know that they're just out there somewhere, and you can hide if you didn't want to be noticed. But then it changed. Because you could get close and still not recognize them, and then you can hide. But now you can't. Everywhere you go, everything you do leaves a digital footprint. And that digital footprint, like it or not, means your umbrella is see-through. If you go to connect with anybody today, and you check out their social media, and they don't have one, then you start suspecting something went wrong. Why are they hiding? What is it they've got to conceal from me? Now, for anybody here who's going, I don't have social media, you should start filling one in, because people will think that as they talk to you later on. So, if you're visible, this is what's happening everywhere. I'm sure you're aware of it. You walk down the street, and most governments are able to work out who's walking down the street by having artificial intelligence check out your face, recognition, and then they've got a profile on who you are. The selfie generation are happy to show everything. I never used to. I used to keep it to myself. And now I realise that as I'm doing that, my competitors are moving forward. So you've got to change the rules. Reinvent what work truly means. Reinvent what your business truly is. Remember, you're not anymore delivering experiences or mice or travel. You're delivering certainty that people work with you will get what they need. So how do they find you? How do they find that thing that makes it so significant? You have to become an artist in what you do. I'm going to share with you a selfie video later on of how I've started creating art. And it is a bit weird to do. So you're saying, what do you mean be an artist? Well, share the what you do with your audience. But let them pay to find out how you do it. And let them make sure that you're the who that they work with. So imagine you're a plumber. If you've been a plumber, and I apologise, you probably didn't do it this way. So you're a plumber, and you go to somebody's house, and you say, hello, Mrs. Smith. She goes, hello. And say, she speaks as Mrs. Smith. Okay, she stands here. So, hello. And you say, right, what's the problem? Well, the sink's leaking. That's it. The sink's leaking. So you open up the sink, you have a look around, but what you do is you get your phone. And you say, right, here we are at Mrs. Smith's kitchen, and we're going to work out how to fix this sink. Is that okay, Mrs. Smith? Yes, carry on, she said. So there you go underneath the sink, and you fix and everything, and you do the video on how it's done. Well, what happens then is once you've finished, thank you, Mrs. Smith, you can go now. Once you've finished, then that video will go out there. Now, is it interesting to see how to fix a sink? Not particularly, unless you're a real sink fetishist. But what it does is it means when people look for somebody who's a plumber, they've got used to watching you. And so they want to call you first, even if you're not the best. So reposition yourself. Every day, reinvent your relationship with the world. And market how you do this. Because you then have to push yourself further than everybody else in the industry. And you have to make sure that the version that's online and the version that's offline, your family life, your personal life, is also visible, because then people know they deal with a whole person and not potentially a serial killer. Unless you are a serial killer, in which case keep that to yourself as well. So how do you do this brand? How do you create it? Well, you're going to think about this. What are you good at? What do you want them to know? What don't you want them to know? And what do they think of you? Somewhere in the middle is your brand. Now I'm going to move through it quite quickly, so if you missed that slide, talk to me later, and I'll sell it to you. I'm joking. You're very quiet today, aren't you? You're okay? Okay, if the person next to you isn't moving, what you need to do is get a mirror, hold it above their nose. If it steams up, they're still alive. Just checking. Okay? So you build your own individual business, your own brand. Now the thing is, the gig economy means that every single person now is going to be working not just in a job, but at some point they'll be working as a freelancer in that industry. Even if you own your own business, you're used to this mindset anyway. So your status is essential. I work with a lot of CEOs and decision makers who realize that no longer can they guarantee to be head of a company that they don't own. They'll have to be consultants. They have to go out there if the company moves on without them. In the US right now, there's something like 53 million people have got a side hustle business, where it's walking dogs or mowing lawns or selling stuff online. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to get more income without having to get promoted in your own job. Now, you might be a decision maker right now. You might be considering a side hustle, but your customers will be. And when that comes together, and you've got these things, you become unsackable, because how are they going to replace somebody like you? So let's move on to number 2. Trust in your team to do the right thing. Create your own tribe, your relationship with the market. This is my LinkedIn tribe, 2,500 people all around the world interested in public speaking. So that means I only need to market to them. I don't need to market to anybody else. I've got those people already. Cuts down my Google ads, but I still do them anyway. 92% of people prefer to do something by recommendation than reading an advert. This is a truth. So remember why it's important to create your brand. So for many organizations, they miss out on the chance to do more with their staff. You have a team of Avengers waiting to be included in your marketing. And guess what? You already pay their wages. So it's free. You don't have to ignore it. They also connect with other people, friends and family in different industries, which gives you insights about where you can be doing stuff. And also, of course, referrals that come from that too. Ultimately, if you do go down this route, thinking about yourself like a Richard Branson and your team like a Richard Branson should be the way forward. Now, I know already that you're looking at how the industry will change. Embracing the future is massive in all this. I'm going to share with you, very quickly, 11 opportunities that will happen in the next 12 months that you should consider how you implement them in your industry. You should write these down or at least take photos as they come up. I'm going to go quite quickly. First one is this. Millennials. Generation Z, which is the ones younger than millennials, next year there's going to be more of them than there are going to be millennials. Okay, they might not all have jobs, but the difference is, if you're a millennial, that means you're aged between 21 and 35, hands up if that's you in the room. A couple of people had a very hard life, so, okay. Well, here's the thing. You know how your life is all about getting experiences and getting what you truly want? The Generation Z, it's not about that. They actually want a job for life. Very different way of marketing, especially in the experience industry. AI in every industry. Doesn't matter what you're in, that's going to change. Every single thing will have people replaced. Some menial jobs, but some exciting ones too. Social movements are going to be a thing. People are going to decide, I don't want to be on other people's radars. I will block everything. So big data will change. Number 4. The impact on women's jobs. When things get automated and robotized, the unfortunate thing is a lot of those jobs first were ones that women had. So is that a bad thing? Yes, it is. But it's also a good thing. Because lots of very smart women are going to be available for somebody's phone. If you want to switch it off, that'd be really good. If not, we'll sell it on eBay. You'll never get it back. So a lot of very smart women will be on the job market. So consider that as an opportunity to get people to join you. Jack Ma from Alibaba in China has 49% of his company are female. And they hold a lot of the management positions because they're great managers and leaders. Because they nurture. They don't just go selfish, me. Really interesting. Diversifying workforce. The more different people you have from different industries, the more they can tell you about their country and the more they can show you ideas that can get you the edge of your competition. The more diverse they are, the better. Number 6, people are not going to be working in offices. You probably work that out. I've got a team of 7 people all around the world. Some of them I've never met. Some of them have worked with me for 10 years and I've never met them. I don't need to. Why? Because we're online every day through WhatsApp and Skype and we can chat whenever we need to. High streets. Here's the thing that's going to be interesting for your industry, if not already. Amazon has changed the face of how people do business. So as a result of that, people are now going to the people next door in the high street and saying, how can we get people to come into our street again and do more business with our street, as opposed to me versus you? Of course, it will be more jobs in the gig economy. Your personal brand will lead to more opportunities. And number 10 is this one. Sorry, number 9. Brands won't stay neutral. We've already had a discussion about this. The gentleman's going to be sharing some amazing stuff about the eco-environment and sustainability. Whichever brand you have, people will look at your brand and see what your ethics and values are before they do business with you. So you have to consider why they should do business with you and not with somebody else. Number 10, you've already got this covered. The industry is going to have to be knocked on its head. People want more opportunities. And also, influencers, Instagram life, very quickly, here we are, look how shiny it is, it won't be enough. People want experts, they want micro-influencers. So where does this leave you with opportunities? Number 4, to become unstoppable, is this. Upgrade your skills. Let me share with you what used to be what the industry said you needed 5 years ago. And take a look at what the industry says you need right now. This isn't me, this is the World Economic Forum. These skills that you will need, that are robot-proof, are the very best things that a human being should have in management and in communication, and to be effective, and sales, and persuasion. So you need smart skills, not soft skills, smart. And you need then to have public speaking, and branding, and persuasion, and the ability for everyone to share these ideas with everybody around the world. Because they can get it from somebody else. And number 5, whatever you do, never stop moving. People think success is easy. You're all decision makers. You didn't find it easy. You get good days and bad days, but you keep pushing forward. Why is this so important? Because success takes time. I'm going to share with you a video in a moment that illustrates exactly this point. But at first, a quick question to everybody in the room. In order to be successful in your life, you believe that you should work on your strengths and only your strengths. Hands in the air if you think that's true. Nobody. How many people believe you should work on your weaknesses and make them better? Hands in the air. Almost the entire room. And how many people think there should be a combination of strengths and weaknesses? Okay, you're all wrong. And you're saying, how dare you, Bob Marley? How can you say this? Let me share with you exactly why it's strengths. Because when you're good at something, you get more people who want to pay for that. And the more you pay for it, the better it becomes. And the better you become at doing it. And they'll pay more for you and you get better at it. If you work on your weaknesses, the best you can become is average. And the school system told us to be like that. Is this into our Q&A time now? Yep. Okay. So what's the formula of being paid? This is what people will pay for you for. Does anybody want to know how you get paid? Oh, come on. Does anybody want to know how you get paid? Yes. Good, thank you. Otherwise it's a very boring presentation. You get paid for 2 things. You get paid for the effect of what you do and how cheaply you could be replaced by somebody else. So does it make sense now to concentrate on only your strengths so you can be paid for what you're best at? So, finding your hedgehog makes sense. I will in a moment. This is your hedgehog, being something that nature makes so good at what you do that you can be effective. Look at your own industry. Decide what you're brilliant at doing, what you love, and what pays well, and in a sense it is your win. Don't just do what everybody else does, which is this is what the industry is doing, because that's not going to work anymore. And it does take time, and it is difficult, and it's going to be a challenge, but you wouldn't want it any other way. I'm going to share with you this video. Before I do it, and I'll finish on this video, I wanted to check if I could get out of my car, walk to the top of the Dubai World Trade Center in one go, keep talking, add music later. Why? Because I'm pushing my art. Now what you'll see in this video is a lot of scared people wondering why I'm talking to them in an elevator. For them, if you haven't met them, I apologize, but you'll understand why in a moment. The one thing that will get you through life better than anything is your ability to understand grit.
I'm Dave Crane. Let me tell you about grit. Most people think it's easy, but they don't really understand it. It's a long story. It's about a long journey. And if you really want to make a difference in your life, then grit's the way that you'll do it. Let me explain. It means pain. It means perseverance on a worldwide scale. It's taking yourself to the next level, and most people don't do that. They don't realize the journey doesn't stop. You keep your eyes on the prize. You go wide and never ever let it stop. You go on a journey like this, looking around, wondering where it's going, where's it leading me? And when you stop, you have to take a breath. You have to realize, not everybody's on your side. Most people don't understand, but grit is the one thing that'll take you on your journey. Let me show you something. And I'm exhausted, because the way that it takes you is grit has always got to be trusted. It's a one thing, a unifier that guarantees you will go to a higher level in your life, because somehow you will know nobody else does. Nobody else gets it. Nobody else knows just how much it takes to make it. So is grit the same as perseverance? Is it the same as resilience? Is it the same as talking? Is it the same as goals? It's all the above. But here's the difference. If you decide you've got grit, then it doesn't matter where you're from. Grit beats all. It beats smarts. It beats intelligence. It beats strength of character. It just means you keep your eyes on the prize and you keep pushing, non-stop. And that's what we do. Keep pushing. And it means you spend a lot of time on your own, on a journey. Nobody gets it, nobody knows, nobody understands. And as you travel, there's people that travel with you. And they don't know why you're doing it. And you don't have to explain it either. But tests have shown, if you've got grit, the big change that it makes for you is you always become with it. You can move. And you never change. And people come and go, but they always say the same thing. Why do you do this? Why do you stick with it? Why do you just take the easy route? But you can't. Grit doesn't work that way. You lose friends. You lose family. You lose money. You change towns. Go to a new venue. Find new hurdles. Get friends. Get down. Everybody looks and they step off. They take a new journey with you. But the way to stick with it is grit will see you through. If you believe in yourself and you're strong enough, you don't, then you're never going to make it. But here's the thing, if you've got grit, you're always going to take it. And then at the end of your journey, and it doesn't matter who you are, just pushing yourself further and further will get you to somewhere special. And when you get there, you'll know that every single second was worth it. You'll know it. Because when you get to the top, and you look at that view, and you put down your stuff, and you know it's about you, you can smile, you can love, and you can see it was worth it.
So taking risks makes a huge difference, but it makes you different from the rest of the players in the game. And you don't have to be the best. This should be about strategy. Just be better than the people who are behind you, and keep moving. So here in summary, by becoming unstoppable, here's your 5 points. You might want to take a photo of this. Become a brand. Trust your team. Embrace the future every single day, because it will change every single day. Make sure your skill sets are better than they were and better than your competition, and just get that grit. Never stop. Keep moving forward. I'll be asking questions and answering questions later on. I'll be around with you for the rest of the day. Meanwhile, my name's Dave Crane. You can connect me straight away on that website, davecrane.com, on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and everything. And it's been a complete pleasure spending quality time with you. Thank you so much. Okay, this is team number 1 over here. Team number 2 over here. Not quite so many, but you look beautiful.
And there's nothing more exciting or nerve-wracking than getting to introduce one of the best in the business.
If you really want to become unstoppable, you need to be able to get rid of all that stuff and be present in this space as you.
He's an award-winning international motivational speaker and coach. He's worked with celebrities like James Brown and Bruce Willis.
And I'm Jack Canfield.
And I'm Brian Tracy.
And I'm John Gray.
I'm Jared Robin.
And I'm Perry Marshall.
Hi, and I'm George Regan.
So you get 86,400 seconds in every day. Imagine every single one of them had a dollar sign. That's the money that you were given every single day to spend $1 a second on what you want to have. The next day you get the money back again, but you can't carry it on and you can't add it up. What have you bought with your money today?
To audiences of over 1 billion people. He's sharing how to become unstoppable in business. It's my honor to introduce to you Dave Crane.
Your ability to speak and sell is paramount. Everybody in this room has this ability anyway. You use it. But everybody else outside is going to have to learn to do this too. You're going to have soft skills.
I wish I had more time.
Inspiring. It was amazing.
I love people who are out of the box. First of all, he's hysterical.
How many people have seen Titanic before? The movie? Okay, how many people? Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up. How many people have only seen it once? Only twice? 3 times? 4 times? 5 times? 6, 7, 8. Have you not got Netflix or anything else to watch?
Absolutely amazing.
How he's able to reach and connect with his audience.
He is super powerful.
A totally new level.
It's amazing.
Talks to you and not through you.
Because everything that we learn in the corporate world or learn at school is completely wrong about the way that we should be successful in the future.
You could have heard a pencil drop.
If you get to be coached by him or do any business with him, you are one lucky person.
Trust me. Go to Dave for anything that you want to do.
Every single person on the planet needs to find a way to work with Dave.
He's an amazing man. I can't wait to work with him more in the future. Dave, you're amazing.
Thank you for tuning in to another insightful episode of Speak on Stage with Dave Crane. We hope you found today's conversation inspiring and packed with valuable insights to help you to amplify your presence on stage too. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more aspiring speakers just like yourself. Remember, the stage is your platform to shine, and with the right tools and mindset, you can captivate any audience anywhere. So keep honing your craft, refining your message, and never shy away from the spotlight. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll dive even deeper into the world of public speaking and performance. Until then, keep speaking, keep shining, and keep making an impact. This is Dave Crane signing off. See you next time on Speak on Stage.
Okay, this is team number 1 over here. Team number 2 over here. Not quite so many, but you look beautiful.
And there's nothing more exciting or nerve-wracking than getting to introduce one of the best in the business.
If you really want to become unstoppable, you need to be able to get rid of all that stuff and be present in this space as you.
He's an award-winning international motivational speaker and coach. He's worked with celebrities like James Brown and Bruce Willis.
And I'm Jack Canfield.
And I'm Brian Tracy.
And I'm John Gray.
I'm Jared Robin.
And I'm Perry Marshall.
Hi, and I'm George Regan.
So you get 86,400 seconds in every day. Imagine every single one of them had a dollar sign. That's the money that you were given every single day to spend $1 a second on what you want to have. The next day you get the money back again, but you can't carry it on and you can't add it up. What have you bought with your money today?
audiences of over 1 billion people. He's sharing how to become unstoppable in business. It's my honor to introduce to you Dave Crane.
Your ability to speak and sell is paramount. Everybody in this room has this ability anyway. You use it. But everybody else outside is going to have to learn to do this too. We're going to have soft skills.
I wish I had more time. Inspiring. It was amazing.
I love people who are out of the box.
First of all, he's hysterical.
How many people have seen Titanic before? The movie? Okay, how many people? Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up. How many people have only seen it once? Only twice? 3 times? 4 times? 5 times? 6, 7, 8. Have you not got Netflix or anything else to watch?
Absolutely amazing.
How he's able to reach and connect with his audience.
He is super powerful.
A totally new level.
It's amazing.
Talks to you and not through you.
Because everything that we learn in the corporate world or learn at school is completely wrong about the way that we should be successful in the future.
You could have heard a pencil drop.
If you get to be coached by him or do any business with him, you are one lucky person.
Trust me. Go to Dave. For anything that you want to do.
Every single person on the planet needs to find a way to work with Dave.
He's an amazing man. I can't wait to work with him more in the future. Dave, you're amazing.